What's happening? Because you know it's your folk B-Hop Radio shout in. As always, I got my podcast partner, OG Gangsta Wicked, the Ghetto Mafia in the building. What's happening with it, Wick?
I'm going to need you to add one more thing to the intro for me.
What you need, man?
Galaxy Wick. Because there might be a new Earth out there B-Hop with all three of us in it.
So you the AI Wick. We got the AI Wick in here with us today. That's what I got to deal with. Now I got to deal with the artificial Wick today.
The projection.
Oh, man. But now, let's get straight to it, though, Wick. I mean, in the building with us right now, we got a man that got the best damn burger in the country in this thing right now.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
The legend himself, one of the greatest rappers of all time. I'm talking about Bun B off in this thing, man.
And
how y'all doing, fellas?
Wait, but say what, Wick?
Hopefully he brought us some.
Because I just be walking around with burgers.
Okay.
But he ain't the first. That's how people speak to me now.
My God.
OG, what's up, man? You ain't got no burgers on? And it's cool. It's funny, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell a story before we get started. I'm going to tell a little story. We was at Rolling Loud. And right now, as we're speaking, they doing Boo's going home ceremony.
Yeah.
And I was at the concert, and they had was Rolling Loud, or was it Coachella? I think it was Rolling Loud. But they had 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Performing. I performed with 3 6 Mafia, and then I gave them the burgers after the show.
Yeah.
They all ate the burgers. And then while we was leaving from going from that concert to another performance to bring some more people some burgers, I had one burger left. And we on the cart, the security guard was like, Bum B, what's up? You ain't got no burger on you? Bam! I hit that ball with a burger. And his eyes lit up like, man, this nigga really had a burger on him. And I was like, that just happened. I had my grandbaby and I had my nieces with me, and we were like, wow, that just happened.
That's crazy as hell. I mean, Bun, first of all, you coming off of the greatest 2022 ever for a black man in America.
I mean, I did have a good one, you know what I'm saying? I will say. A couple people I feel might have had a better one, but I ain't gonna act like my year wasn't big. I had a real good year last year.
I mean, first of all, you ended it off with the new location for the Trill Burgers, man.
Yeah. We in there now, you know, trying to get the inside of it. I understand it's going to be an experience for people, so I want it to feel a certain way, but at the same time, it's a lot of people that don't really know who Bun B is. You might be shocked by that, but there's a lot of people who don't really know who Bun B is or what Trill Burger represents, and I don't want them to walk in and be like, what is all of this? You know, so it's got to make sense for the people that know who I am and the people that don't. So we're trying to find the right balance, but it's gonna be an experience for you. It's gonna be somewhere you can take you some pictures, and it's gonna feel like Bun B's store when you walk in there.
Okay, so now answer me this though, Bun. When you realized that you had the best burger in America, what went through your mind at that time right there?
It was overwhelming, man, because as a company, we fought real hard to make this thing work. Yeah. We knew we had a good product, and it was just about getting it in front of as many people as possible. So I hustled it like an album. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So me being at different festivals with the burger was me being on promo. You know what I'm saying? Because in order to be at a music festival, I have to pay a fee to be a vendor. Yeah. So it's not like, hey, come on, Bun, you can just come and do the food. I still got to pay to be a vendor, bring the crew out. So we spending a considerable expense in order to put the burger in front of people. A lot of times we barely broke even or made a little bit of money, but we wasn't really making a lot of cash, but we were getting a lot of impact. Yeah. And at music festivals, for me, it was a benefit of knowing I'm either gonna know the artist, the DJ, the manager, or somebody that's gonna be at that festival, right? Yeah. And so I'll be able to get access to the artist. Now, you don't bring artist food before a performance; you bring it after the performance. You know, because they didn't, put all that energy out there. They tired, they hungry. And you walk up with that big, hot, fresh, warm burger, boys, it's ready. I get the good testimonial from them right there. And so we just did that. We went to Rolling Loud. We went to Coachella. We went to Something in the Water. We went to Rock the Bells. Took the burger on promo. And then, we went through some difficulties with the company, and we ended up right back at zero.
What?
And I don't want to get into it right now because I'm not about tearing people down. What happened. And so everybody was real frustrated. I'd have been a part of something that was built up, then had to, got brought down and had to build back up. So I told me, this is nothing. We got a good product and we got a good name out here. Yeah. So we're going to be all right, you know. And then maybe about 2 weeks later, we got the call, Good Morning America say, do y'all want to get in this national competition for this burger? You know, we were like, yeah. So about 10 days after that, we competed in Houston. We won in Houston on like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you got to be in New York on Friday. You know what I'm saying, to compete in the national. So we went up to New York and we started cooking in the kitchen they had set up for us.
Yeah.
And then like at a certain point, like we had to cook certain amount of burgers and send them over, then some more burgers and send them over, and then it was like, okay, y'all got to make the last burgers in Times Square. So literally they took the whole little kitchen setup and moved everybody little station outside in Times Square, and we had to cook them last burgers for the judges, like right there on the spot, and then we ended up winning.
What goes through your mind, though, Bun, when you talk about y'all was almost at zero, and then you get a boost like that, man? What did that do for the brand as well?
Well, I mean, as much pub as we got from from going to these music festivals and having these artists, you know, talk about, man, this burger is good and all that, a lot of people could believe that, well, that's just his friends, that's his partners. Of course, they gonna support him and say his shit is the shit.
Right. Yeah.
But Good Morning America, which I didn't realize is the #1 program in the country.
Exactly.
Right? It's literally like 8 million people watching it at one time.
Come on.
And a lot of them had no idea who I was. But they did know that I had the best burger in America when it was over. So from that point on, we just started getting a lot of calls for catering. And, you know, instead of us paying to get into places, people started wanting to pay us to bring the burger, because the burger got energy. If people know the burger there, people gonna come to their event. So different events was like, we want Trill burgers at this food festival, or we want Trill burgers at this sporting event or somewhere, because we know if y'all there, the people will come, if nothing else, just to get the burger. So that's been a blessing in itself.
Is the burger gonna show up at the rodeo again?
Oh, without question. If the burger ain't nowhere, the burger's gonna be at the rodeo again.
Are we prepared for the rodeo again? Because, I mean, it was so nice you had to do it twice in this thing, boy.
Well, I mean, I believe what happened is that, you know, after what we put together, which was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, like I couldn't even, a lot of people want me to do that over. I can't do it over. You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. We were very lucky that we was able to pull that off the way we did. And then some of these people like Tobe and them, they're a lot bigger deal. They got a lot going on right now, so everybody can't even make it to do it, even if I wanted to repeat it. But you don't want to be repeating the same thing and get stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
And then people be like, oh, I ain't going. I done seen. I know what they gonna do. You know. So instead of, you know, us doing the H-Town takeover again, I was like, let me figure something out that's still gonna make sense. So the reason we doing the Southern takeover is because the South, everywhere in the South, you got cowboys and rodeos and all of that. So the lifestyles still match up. But then also, you know, some of my friends are some of the, you know, greatest artists out there. But more than that, the South is like family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all, you know, we the third coast, so to speak, in hip hop, and we all had that same sort of fight to make our bones on the East Coast and the West Coast. So a lot of our struggles are similar, you know, and when we would see each other out on the road, we would know, hey man, it's us against everybody.
Come on now.
Down here, you know. So I really want to show that Southern unity, to say that same way we showed that Houston unity in the hip hop community, I want to show that in the Southern hip hop community. And I want to create a party, because, you know, a lot of people in the South, they're not just great artists. These people are my friends. I've been knowing some of these people for 20, 25, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So they like brothers and sisters to me. And so I want to create like a party. You know, so it's not about having the biggest artists in the world. I'm trying to pick people that will allow us to have a real fun time. Because the rodeo audience is different. When I performed at the rodeo last year, my grandkids was there. My kids was there. My wife and my contemporaries, people, my brothers were there. And my mama was there. You know, that's 4 different generations in one room. And Houston, that's what this is. It's a family tradition to do the rodeo. So I got to make sure that I got music for everybody in the room, so that nobody feel left out.
You dropped the album like that as well, that Trill album, and then just dropped the video to that title track as well, going crazy. The numbers are looking real strong out here, bud.
Yeah, man. Look, man, I'm you know, I'm having a good time, man. You know, I'm just trying to stay consistent with who I am. If I'm gonna make music, then it need to be music that people that's been supporting me and fucking with me all this time be like, yep, he still got it. You know, if I ain't got it no more, I'm gonna bow the fuck out. I'm gonna just go sit down and make burgers. I ain't tripping. You know, but it feels good to still be able to contribute. You know, more than anything, it really feels good to still be able to contribute, to be able to tap in with up and coming talent. You know what I'm saying? People like Dave East, you know, coming and getting down with us on the Trill Static album. I like what he doing. You know what I'm saying? And even on Mo Trill, you know, having, you know, Slim and Kiki on there, you know, these guys who, they're now the new OGs. You know what I'm saying? They're the new OGs. And so we all trying to just lead by example.
So are you accepting Triple OG now then?
I take that. I mean, there's still some people.
Don't try to be funny now. Don't try to be like, I know you're trying to go with it.
A few people call me Triple OG. You know, I think we at that status, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as I move up at OG level, the OGs under me move up.
That's all I was saying, hating ass week.
Well, no, because we had a thing where he's not an OG yet. I told him, you're 35, bro. You know what I'm saying? You still got milk behind you. You're not
OG. B-High not an OG.
No, you know.
B-High is officially an OG.
He told me 40 years old to be an OG around here.
Man, no, you got to be leading the charge. You just got to be, because Boosie going to be younger than a lot of his contemporaries. But you ain't no saying, you can't, Boosie ought to be double OG by now.
That's real.
I want to ask you something. What's more rewarding? You know, pivoting into this business of burgers, you know, food, or, you know, getting the UGK stuff off the ground. I told somebody before you answered. I told somebody, I said, Bun has always been a boss. Don't get it twisted. If I'm not mistaken, he used to run Cash Money. A lot of people don't know that.
No, I didn't run Cash Money. I played the integral part. You can say that.
But a lot of people don't even know that.
But that's really more what I did with Cash Money was more about artist development, specifically with Wayne. You know, it was really about trying to keep him in the right frame of mind. We learned very early working with Wayne that he was an amazing rapper, because in the earliest days he couldn't even curse, but the verses were still street and gangster. I say, when this little nigga learn how to curse, it's gonna be a problem.
How old was he at the time?
Probably about 14, 15, first time I started seeing him actually in the studio, but he used to call and like rap on on the phone and the voicemail and shit at the office at like 11, 12 years old. So like initially him and Doogie, BG, were a group. And then they eventually brought Juvie in. Juvie came into the fold. Turk was always around, but Turk wasn't necessarily affiliated in that way. And that's how they ended up putting the High Boys together.
So which one is more rewarding, Bun? The entertainment or the food? Like, which one gives Bun B more joy? Are they even?
Look, man, I'm blessed to be 30 years deep in this game and still be appreciated. I'm in Atlanta. I got a show tonight. And you know, the show is sold out. You know, so I'm still blessed to be appreciated in that way. But it's always good to have new passions that give you new purpose in life. Because after doing something for so long, you can be stuck in a rut. You can start damn near phoning it in and just be like, okay, well, here we go again with this shit, you know. But these burgers, man, I wake up in the morning, I want to know more about the food industry. I want to know more about real estate. I want to know more about customer service, streamlining the process to get people the food faster without compromising the quality. I want to learn about all that shit, expanding the brand, you know, in the city, in the state, in the country, around the world. I got a 20, 30-year plan for this company, that even if I'm not here, that the company can still grow and my family can benefit from it in a way that's different from my music. Like, my family can't actually contribute to my musical legacy, but they can contribute to this burger legacy. I know my granddaughter is waiting to turn 16 so she could come work at Trillburg. She be doing the merch. You know, she be doing the merch table at the pop-up, but now that we have a brick and mortar, she know she got to be of age before she can work. So she really want to be a part of this company, because the music thing, she was born into that.
That's right.
That was already here when she got here. But she's actually in real time been watching Trill Burgers from the first pop-up. They've been there. My family's been there. And so, and this is something that I want, you know, my granddaughter to be her first official job. The co-owners for their families, our nieces and nephews, this could be their first job coming to work for our company.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now they have a vested interest in this company. I would love for my granddaughter 20, 25 years from now to be the CEO of this company. You know, and be able to tell people, hey, I was here when it started. Don't play with my pawpaw like that.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, being at Cash Money and watching them grow from the beginning, and finding yourself at that same stage with Trill Burgers right now, how excited are you to see exactly what this thing is going to turn into?
It's crazy because the growth potential for this is big, but if you start trying to chase money, it's going to fall apart. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of people offer money for franchises, and I'm like, man, I ain't opened the first one. Right. And y'all want one here? No, you can get ahead of yourself real easy in this thing. I just want to open one building, do it correctly, make sure that people enjoy it, because a lot of people call me all the time, comedians, rappers, singers. Hey, man, we got a show this weekend. We want them burgers. Can we come by your spot?
Yeah.
It's not open yet.
Wow.
Because it's only been a pop-up, but people feel like we got a truck or we got to have a restaurant or something right there. Man, we just been showing up with grills and cooking.
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you show up, pop the trunk, start selling music.
Exactly.
You know, we've been out there on the street hustling this. You know what I'm saying? And now we finna be able to have a set-up spot, but we've been trapping these burgers this whole time.
What I want to say to you, Bon, this ain't really a question, but it's a statement to you. I was telling B how this. I said we were having an argument.
As always.
To you. And I told you, I said, Bon B. I said that he is the example. I think we were talking about BG.
Yeah.
And the Gucci situation. And I said it would take more than just rapping alone for certain artists.
Yeah.
And I used Bun B as an example. I said Bun B has showed everybody that you can pivot from being a worldwide rapper. He just said it. It's a lot of people that don't know me like I'm a shop.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That he can pivot and go into something else and be just as successful at it. And for every older artist, that should be the blueprint right now. Not only can you reinvent yourself and make more money to a different audience, it's good mentally.
Yeah.
Like he said, it gives you something to get up every day to study real estate now, because you got to get buildings.
Yeah.
Now food, now silverware, now tables. You into all kinds of shit.
You're looking at equity, LLCs, holding companies, all of these kind of different things that come together. You know, different levels of accounting that come into play, especially with multiple owners. You know what I'm saying? My music attorneys don't work here. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a different accountant for this. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take all that into consideration. But let's keep it 100. Let's keep it. I know y'all like the truth here.
Oh, we love it.
So let's be very honest. Everybody that made money and got successful in this hip hop culture didn't plan it that way. A lot of motherfuckers got lucky. Wow. Like, you know, everybody that got in here that got money, talking about they hustled and grinded, they really didn't. They kind of looked, some of them looked up on this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you see people who are super successful selling music and doing shows, but then business really, outside of that, they don't have any energy or any focus on it, they probably are not business-minded people. You know what I'm saying? They just ended up having a hot record, you know what I'm saying, by the right producer that touched the chord with the people. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to knock that, because that ain't easy to do. It's thousands of people wake up every day trying to put some music online and thinking it's going to connect. It's not that easy. But what I am saying is that when you looked at people like, for me, I looked at the Jermaine Dupri's, I looked at the Puffies and the Russell Simmons, and I realized these people, and even in today, you can look at people like Jay-Z, who they got rich with music, but they got wealthy with business.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I understand that it's easy to, you know, I won't say easy, but I understand that there's a pathway to making money with music without you having to be really business savvy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But in order to get to real wealth and real money, you not only do you have to have some hustle and grind about yourself, but you also have to have some business acumen. You got to know how to organize motherfuckers. You got to know how to stay focused. Some of us in this culture come from a life where we had to have that focus in another space. And then we brought that hustle into hip hop. And then automatically, boom, motherfuckers got rich. Look at Pete. Look at Slim and Baby. You know what I'm saying? These were people who had already had businesses and business minded and were responsible for people and places. You know what I'm saying? And had to have shit done a certain way in order to not just make money, but really survive the industry they were in. I'm not trying to put nobody on blast, but I know you understand what I'm saying. Exactly. And then you come into music, which is a lot easier to navigate and for the most part a lot less threatening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this all I got to do over here to make some money? Oh, I'm finna bleed these motherfuckers.
Come on.
And that's what happens. Rough Riders, all of these people came from this street environment where they were already business-minded people and just brought that shit into hip-hop culture and business and were able to take full advantage of that shit. Most people end up rich and don't even know what they're worth in this shit.
Wow. What was food? It was food always a passion of yours, bud?
Obviously.
I mean, look at me, bud. We all got a little something. You're not a big
obviously.
guy. I mean, but I'm saying, was it something that I'm talking about? You knew from young.
No. I could cook for me.
Yes.
Right, I was a latchkey kid, you know what I'm saying, growing up. So after my mom and daddy split, and my mom was working, I used to come home. I'd get up in the morning, get myself ready for school, and come home and shit like that. And so I used to cook for myself, but I wouldn't necessarily say what I was cooking was worth cooking for other people.
Yeah.
But I always had a passion for food. And then one of the first food trucks I went to, I realized like dude wasn't just like making tacos and shit. Dude was actually a real chef.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, wait a minute, because every food truck I'd had before that was just a taco truck. And I'm like, so wait a minute. So I started going to other trucks, and every truck I'd go to, motherfuckers was actually real chefs. Like, yeah, I used to work over here, and I used to manage this spot, and, you know, this is a new concept I'm trying. And so I'm like, okay, so this is just them trying to jump some new shit off.
Yeah.
So I started going to all the different trucks, making friends with people, and the city wouldn't let them park downtown because of the propane tank. So I went and spoke in front of City Hall on behalf of the food truck community as a customer, telling them how important it is for us to have other options. But they still ended up doing the law, but I ended up making a lot of good friends in the industry. I ended up starting a food blog about 10 years ago with my partner Premium Pete in New York, because this is around the time when Instagram was starting and everybody's taking pictures of flowers and cats and food. There was no... Most people don't know, the whole idea of women showing their body started with, Instagram started as a place for photographers to show how good of a picture they could take with a phone. That's what Instagram was. So it eventually became all photographers. So at one point, swimsuit photographers started posting their pictures,
That's right.
models' pictures, and then obviously that was the shit that started getting a bunch, like tens of thousands of likes, you know, and that shit just blew into that. But for us, as you know, for me, I use Instagram as a way to find food, right? And so that's what my partner was doing. So we was like, look, let's start this website. You got to eat this. We can start showing people where some shit had to eat. Maybe at the very least, motherfuckers will start giving us good tables and telling us to come get some food early. You know what I'm saying? But at the most, maybe this shit, we can start getting sponsors and turn this shit into a TV show or some shit. Like, we were just trying some shit on the side. He still had his day job. I'm still doing music and shit, but I'm making more and more connects in the food industry and showing more interest. So I had a partner named Andy Wynn. I knew Andy from the clothing industry. I met Andy at the Magic a long time ago. He had a clothing line called I Am King. He had the hat said King. I was like, yeah, give me that shit. And I rocked it all day because I knew it was a new hat that nobody had. Because that's what Magic was, where you would go and show samples. And a couple of years later, he moved from clothing to food and became real successful in the food industry. And so he ended up buying into a company with some people who had a truck that I had supported, just like everything else. And so when they opened their brick and mortar, he and I met up again. And so he came up with the burger concept, asked me to be a partner with it. I tried the burger. I said, let's do it. And you know, we sat around for a day, like trying to figure out what we was gonna call it. And I was like, let's not fuck around. Let's not play with it. I got a brand with 30 years of cultural equity already built in.
And it sounds good.
So Trill Burgers. And 4 days later, we did the first pop up, and I host this food awards ceremony every year called the Tastemakers Awards in Houston. It's a food and drink award ceremony. And this year I said, I don't want no money, give me a booth. I got a food concept I want to show. So we brought the burgers. We had the longest line the whole time with literally the best restaurants and chefs in the city, and we had the longest line. And at that point, Trill Burgers was born officially.
Born when you woke up, and when I woke up and watched you on Good Morning America. Be honest with me now. Were they hating because you won that contest? Some of the other burger makers.
No, everybody was cool. Everybody was cool.
The peanut butter person, they look kind of like when they say Bud, he was. He thought that peanut butter was gonna
This
win.
man gonna be messy, bud. That's what he gonna do. He gonna be messy.
Man, these people had some incredible burgers and they had some incredible products, and nobody that competed in that show didn't benefit.
Right.
For example, the company that I competed against in Houston, we competed on Tuesday. They tried to open on Wednesday. Thursday morning, they had to put out on social media, hey, it's a 3-hour wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a while to get a burger, and no, we don't have Trill burgers. That was like that was a joke because people kept coming to them asking for a Trill burger. But they did great business. They got a great burger. You know what I'm saying? It just, in that competition, I ended up having more of what the judges preferred. Wow. And that's pretty much what happened in New York. My burger is not a burger for pictures in terms of the way it's placed and immaculately. No, my burger is the type of burger a motherfucker want to eat.
Come on now.
When you see it, you don't want to look at it, take pictures. You want to eat that motherfucker. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is. I'm trying to sell a burger that people want to eat.
Yeah.
Because people get tired of taking pictures of that motherfucker.
Exactly.